okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Where people don't, we haven't had that opportunity.
That experience,
exactly. And I'm on this journey, we all are. And I want to capture loads of things because I'm so excited.
Aww.
Tonight's been one of the best nights.
Aww.
Yeah, really.
But that's good because it's like what's come out of it, and it's not just Linda conceived this. What's come out of all the conversations and all of the work is this project. Which, if you can do this with these 100 people, unbelievable because people don't get to communicate like this anymore unless it's a. You know, there's a distance between people, or a microphone and an audience. But when you're trying to get that genuine connection, I think it's going to be great.
It's really good.
Brian, do you want another go?
No, I'm sweet.
I'm
Jeff?
sweet as well.
Just interview my fucking
Persian,
self.
come on Persian, do your thing.
Oh God.
Do your thing, sir.
It's going to make me cry, Persian.
Yeah, do your thing. Are we filming, Sean?
Yes.
Yeah, John.
Hello.
What was the main thing that drew you towards the Reno project?
The main thing.
Yeah.
Initially, it was because Linda could afford to pay me to do something that I felt I was good at initially, and that's being honest. And then from there, I'd starve and film Linda wherever she told me to show up. I would move heaven and earth to get there to film it. Like that's how I feel about because even though it's just she makes me want to be a better practitioner. She makes me want to be a better version of myself, and I'm not rubbing up to it too
I'm
much.
looking at carry on.
She's all right. But then also the extended thing, and what happened on, and I'm not like a hippie person who believes in too many coincidences, but there was a few too many things about the project that felt like I had to be here. Like the thing that we're here with the Whitworth and the guy who gave me my first break at going to college works up there. The fact that like Fonzo had attended my cousin's wake and I didn't see, and he was always this mysterious character to me who it was at my cousin's funeral, which is the oddest event anyway. He was someone I really looked up to, and he introduced me to like the prodigy, and I looked up to him. I didn't really know him. It was my version of him that I looked up to. And then he passed away because there was some drug use, and he passed away from that. And then I remember his funeral. It was like I was in a scene from The Goodfellas at my Auntie Brenda's house. He had covered the pool table. All these characters of all ethnicities came, and I don't know how he was in with this Manchester Vibes in the Area crew or that lot of people.
He was in the band. That was the name of the band.
Yeah, no, but so my cousin Stephen was known as Stiggy with those guys, and then. I think I've told a few people at the funeral, Fonzo walked in, at the time I didn't know it was him, with a top hat on and a flower, and everybody else was just doing normal funeral stuff, and he walked in, hat off, and then...
Started leading.
Yeah, put the rose on, kissed it, did all this. I was like, I must have been like, impressionable 14. Who the fuck is this guy?
I've got to be in.
Yeah. But then I'm at my auntie's house and just listening to these, and I can't remember any of the stories, but I remember the atmosphere. Everyone's smoking in there, and so it's got that Goodfellas look where there's smoke above everyone, and I'm still there with my mate. Like, oh, this is. And then all these stories come out, and then so again that goes back to this oral history thing. So that was one of the coincidences. I'm sure there's more along the way, but. And then I thought it was interesting because a lot of the people are always like, we've got this thing with Reno where it's like white and middle class, and like I'm from fucking Longsight, and I get a lot of stick when I meet people because I don't, I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm from Longsight and I don't talk like that. And I've had that where people are like, you've got to be proud where you're from. Like I am proud of where I'm from, but it just happens I watched this shitload of TV growing up. I was a bit insular, so I don't have the whole I could do it, but then the true version of myself is this. It is. It's true. Yeah. I could do it. I could walk around, but it's...
Well, I understand what you're saying because I'm from Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. I
don't speak like a typical Jamaican.
Okay,
Can you do it?
Well, man, where you go? Yeah. I can do all that.
Yeah.
But I don't, I wasn't taught to speak that way.
But people
That
expect
is-
it.
That, you know, so I can see where you're coming from.
Yes, the same
Oh.
thing.
But
You
it's-
choose the way you want to speak.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that I don't sound middle class by any stretch of the imagination. But I just thought it's interesting that it's when people refer to you as middle class and you're like, I'm fucking, if I spend 1 month without wages, I am on the fucking street. Like, I'm not middle class. 1 month with no wages, I am fucked. I am knocking on your door. You know, I'm not like it. And I think that's the illusion of, it's like someone saying you should be proud of going to university and education, but people go to university because universities want to make money.
Yeah.
They will get you through that course. They will take on too many students, and it still means a lot to that individual, but it's by no means should it be, it's fucking stupid sometimes. I look at the amount of money I owe him for telling me something I could have just read some books. I've met some great people, and the one thing that I can find solace in is that probably if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And that's something that I should start to recognise as a privilege. So what attracted me to that? And I think it makes me want to be interested in my own history and not become, because my own work, what I do away from this is very self-obsessed, it's very in my own head, it's very, whereas this makes me be part of stuff like this and be here with people and communicate, and it's probably a better use of what I like to do and can do.
Yeah, well, I'm very interested in astrology because it shows you what you're made of, what you're made of. And I'd like to know what month were you born?
Well, I was born in May the 4th.
So,
The 4th. So you're a Taurus. Yeah. So these are things, because Taurus is an earth sign. So you're down to earth.
All the way, lying down on the earth. That's what.
Yeah, you're down to earth in your thinking. So you can, your profession that draws you in is something to do with community and people, more than academia.
Yeah.
You know, certain star signs draw you towards certain things. And I think that's why you get interested in this free spirit.
So what star sign would you be?
I'm a Gemini,
Okay, you a Gemini as well.
and we're air signs. So,
I'm Capricorn, and me and you get on, so
Yeah.
Capricorn.
so what I'm saying
That's what it
is,
says in the book.
Time, folks.
Oh, what were you saying?
the way he wants to live his life is controlled by his birth sign and the time of his birth. A lot of people not interested, don't know that they think astrology is just what you read in the paper. That's nothing.
No, it's a whole science.
No,
isn't
it's
it?
been there.
It's a
We
science.
need
A
to
deep
feedback on
science.
interview technique.
Excellent.
Iconic.
Great leading
Yeah, it's a deep
questions.
science, and it can tell you exactly what people are doing with their lives.
I'm going to get my birth chart done after this.
Yeah.
Great book.
I've had mine done.
Oh,
Right,
did you do that birth chart?
Yeah.
Did you do that birth chart?
What do we think
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
interview, folks?
I thought it was a good question again. I think Persian teaches us how to, the questions, he has like a format.
He takes it easy.
Yeah, I think he has a format when he starts, maybe the same technique with each interviewee, but they come out and take you on a journey. I think that's what's happened.
Well, what I try to do,
I don't even know how we got here.
who the person is, what they do,
Yeah.
how they do it, and why they do it.
You know, you did beautifully there.
And you follow those that technique. If they're not coming full, you draw them
And go to your
to go
next
deeper
question.
into.
I liked how you started talking about the Reno, but then you picked up on a bit and then started going into kind of like where he's from and the class bit and everything. I thought that was a nice pick up.
So what I really, really loved the most though was when you identified with what he said about talking. No, but that you genuinely understood what he was saying. I really
Yeah, yeah.
thought
And
that was fabulous.
That's probably the first time that somebody's looked me in the eye and said, "Oh yeah, totally."
Yeah, exactly. It's like he looked you in the eye and he really knew what he was saying.
I think that is interesting as well when you say look your person in the eye, because today a lot of people tend not to do that even when they're in a normal conversation.
Yeah, so yeah.
So it's very...
Imagine we could do it to these interviews, but we could both.
It's like you said about the talking.
By drawing the person's attention to you, it helps them to connect with you.
Yeah.
You know, because they see that you're definitely interested.
Yeah.
You show an interest in what they've got to say.
Do you know what I noticed about myself there as well is when I was telling stories that involve other people, I'm like looking over, for, which really you wouldn't want to do, but I'm like looking over for confirmation. But that helps. I think having a crowd around you does help you. Because if it gets too intense, you can just look over. Because we've got to think about how these people are going to come and just...
No, we don't. No, we don't.
No, I was just saying about the languages, right? We're all Manchester, right? If we go out of town, people know where we're from.
Yeah.
As soon as we talk, and when you say, "Oh, from Manchester," I think, "Yeah, I am." You know,
It gets
proud.
more pronounced, so yeah, definitely.
You know what I get told? You sound like a Jamaican.
Honest to God. Next time someone tells you that, just go, "These are the glasses."
It's true though, because I was talking yesterday about somebody who was saying they can't wait to come after the 15th and come and see us and whatever, and they've been watching the interviews and they've obviously seen the one with you when you were saying, do you remember when you said the people said, so how come you're so much, you know so much about a black person? You said, but you know, I'm there with them black people, I'm there with them black boys. And that's how when you interact and when you're with certain company, you can probably pick up on the patois and talk that way and feel very comfortable.
Well, I don't notice it.
The thing
because
is,
you're not.
everybody does that. If you spend enough time with a person, you mirror each
I
other.
do that.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
yeah, but you do. It's psychological.
Talk like Jamaicans. Because they were doing.
Yeah, oh, if you ever, like, you mimic the way that they say something and they think that you're insulting, but it's just, we're parrots. We just parrot each other.
Any feedback on Persian's technique?
No, it's very good.
You sound like me, because when you
Brian, any feedback on Persian's technique before we go?
He's on his fucking phone.
Come on.
Been on his phone since the beginning.
It's very distracting, Brian. If he's not talking to someone else, he's going to his own little party.
Is there any feedback? Yeah, man, you know, you did great, brother. You did fantastic, telebombastic. You done fantastic.
Ivan, you've not had much to say.
You're the best one so far.
Did you bring that?
He's a shy one, isn't he, all the time?
That right one.
Do you know-
That khaki one stinks to me. I love it.
I think what it
They're
is,
dead expensive,
I think
then.
it's just within yourself is to find the right questions.
Hold on, you
Get in the
two.
flow and then let them flow, but you've got to find the right questions before they can flow. And I think, like, Ivan understands what I mean, because Ivan's shy, and it's like, sit there, even me when I sit down, I think, right, what am I going to say, because it's not pre-planned.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it alive. Do you know what I mean? The BBC and that do pre-planned questions, and they look like wooden puppets. Don't
No,
they?
but I'm saying, even though the information, even though the feedback you give, for me to come and sit, I've got to come up on a new line now.
Yeah.
Go over ground that no one else has gone over. If you understand what I'm saying.
Or you can mine
Yeah, but the best.
what they have gone over. You can mine further into something you've already heard.
Well, the best interviews are with politicians. They never answer the question.
Yeah.
The poor guy sat there with all the questions, right? And they will not
Well, it's
answer.
a battle,
That's the
isn't it?
worst interview, though, isn't it?
I know,
You
but
just
they-
think you're lying.
No, but politicians are like that, aren't they? You never get a straight answer out of them.
But it's weird how, like, you kind of do that anyway, like in body language. Like the star sign stuff I'm interested in, but I know that was the first time that my arms folded and I kind of, even though I'm very interested in that, it's like that was it, the time that I felt my body change during the interview.
Yeah.
I think I was interested, you know, when you turn around and says, you know, when you went on the Reno side, and then see all these people come along,
Yeah.
you know, that's it, all old people,
Go on, Brian.
you know, and as a young man, and you stand back and you go, bet you these have got a story to tell,
Yeah.
you know, and it's not just everybody's telling the same story. They've all got a different story.
It's also the way that people. So if you think of it cinematically, and it's like if it was a drawing or something and not just a depiction of real life, the way that you arrived, it was very specific in my head because it was pissing it down. Your hood was up. You came right at the end. There was water dripping off you. And I didn't know what to make of you. I didn't know what to make of you because you didn't say much, but you surveyed everywhere. And then.
Yeah, well, that's to give an interview.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what did I say? I said, what I'd like to say, I couldn't say on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's what I said to you.
Yeah.
What I really would like to say, I can't say.
Mm-hmm. But now we're at the point where.
And I said, and you said to me, well, how about later? And I said, well, we'll wait and see if you know.
Yeah.
But my point is that when he asks me, there's things I do want to say, but there's things I can't say.
Why can't you say them?
Well, I think you're not just thinking of yourself, you're thinking of people that are not here to stick up for themselves, or not here to comment, you know, and they've got kids themselves, they've got family themselves. So when someone's not there to actually say, well, that's right or that's wrong, then I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Because you've got kids, got family.
Well, absolutely fabulous night, and I think we can definitely do what we're planning to do. Do you know what I mean? It's just about focus and attention and listening and asking the right questions and thinking of the simplicity of how, who, where, when. And listening to what someone says
That's
to
very
you.
important to ask. To follow that pattern of.
You have to follow the pattern. That's right.
You establish who the person is, what they're about, what they intend to do with their lives, why, you know, who, why, when, where, all those are valid things to follow, you know, to get someone to open up and express themselves. Because those questions make you go deeper. You could ask one question and by the follow-up, why you did that, you know, how does it help you? You know, all those those words make you go deep into any interview. It pushes you into the interview, and you make that person connect with you.
People are dying to
So
talk.
you make them answer.
Want to talk.
Because you make them answer the question you ask. Why?
But
You have to
John's saying
say
an
why.
important thing though. People
You have
do
to say
want us to talk.
who you're involved with. You know, all those words, those little, what do you call them? They're not adjectives, what do you call them again?
Verbs.
Conjunctions or something like that.
Verbs. Who
Yeah,
know what
some of
know.
it.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Verbs.
You know,
Question. Yeah.
You're asking questions by using those verbs.
Yeah, and that's the way in to get
Yeah.
the best. Like then the stuff when
Yeah.
they just go off on one. That's where
Yeah.
the gold's going to be.
The best interview was that David Blay, wasn't it, on the morning programme, kept asking him questions.
Just hold it really high with the apartment.
That was madness, wasn't it? Just wouldn't answer the questions like that.
But my favourite image of Brian on the dig is with a fucking pickaxe.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, deceive people, trust me.
But them two and Barry and that slab.
Oh,
I know,
And it took
I
all
know,
day and he was
I know.
getting it from
I
different
picked it up,
angles.
that, you know.
Yeah, you got it
Picked it
out.
up and dumped it
Got it
aside.
out.
But my brother said to some, remember when they had the, here?
The night.
The night?
Yeah.
My brother
Oh, yeah,
come, we don't
Phil, yeah.
talk. And he said to one of the lads, said, oh, kid looks like he's dying. Barry George it was. And Barry said, hey, he's fitter than you think he is.
Yeah.
Our kid looks like his family for you, innit?
But do you know what it is?